Okay, so on this video, we're going to be reviewing Graig Petty's Evoke. So, what do you get in the box? Well, first of all, you get a nice little slidey box. Very nice. You know, feel like you've paid your money for this. Nice little box with a nice little velvet cushion. I won't show you the code there, but there's a nice little cushion. Inside is a QR code, which takes you to 5, I think, plus hours of Graig Petty. So, if you don't like Graig Petty, sorry, you can get about 5.5 hours of them. And you get this nice little card box, which I personally would discard and put the cards around elastic band because they're not important. You know, they're not expensive, they're just bits of card and they're props for you to do an effect. I think there's people talking about buying leather cases for the cards. No, you know, I think just, and what you get is these beautiful printed, and they're supposed to be like inspiration cards. They have emotions, if yuck is an emotion, I'm not quite sure. You know, there's a clue for you, a xenophobia, and there's pretty much every nervous, grateful, and there's a mixture of positive and negative emotions, you know, sincerity, and they're really nicely printed. And on each card you get a little picture, you get the emotion, you get a quote, and you get the person who created that quote. So that's what you get on the cards. These are beautiful. So the cards are exactly the same size as a Rider poker card. So any gimmicks or anything that you have that's the size of a standard bicycle card, then these cards are exactly the same size. They have good kind of paper stock. They have a nice kind of slide, and they handle, you know, like playing cards. But stop calling them playing cards. So that's what you get in the box. You get 26, let's say. They're beautifully. Now, what's the effect? Well, the effect's simple. I say effect. Yeah, one of the effect, and this is like the main effect that I think majority of people are going to purchase this and they're going to perform the one effect. You get someone to pick a card. They take the card, you don't look at it, and you tell them pretty much everything that's on that card. That's the effect in a nutshell. And that's pretty much, I think, doing it in injustice, but that's the basic. And I think that's the effect most people. Now, the kind of information you can tell them is pretty much everything. You can tell them if it's a negative emotion or a positive emotion. You can tell them what's on the picture. You can tell them what the word is or the emotion. And this is the key thing. You're not doing like I can read your mind. What you're doing is you're picking up their emotion. And I think that's what makes this effect very strong. You're not saying, think of a playing card, it's the 4 of diamonds. What you're actually doing is I want you to think about this emotion. I want you to pretend you're feeling it. Okay, I'm getting that emotion. This is a great tool for any mentalist out there. You know, that's pretty much why I bought it. I think it's such a strong, powerful tool. I don't think I'll be doing the standard pick a card thing, but it is quite easy to do. I think I'm not giving anything away by saying it's a stacked, marked deck. And when I say marked, I mean it's heavily, heavily marked. But this has to be, out of every single marking system I've ever seen, the most easiest. Because there's no memory work whatsoever. Now, you do not have to remember anything, you know, which I think is brilliant. My memory is terrible at the moment. I'm getting old. With this effect, no memory. The word is spelt out. Pretty much, it's fully spelt out. So it's not like, oh, you get the first letter and you've got to think, all right, what does K mean? No, it's actually fully spelled out. So if you're glancing the back of the card and for whatever reason you missed maybe the first or the second letter, you know, because the whole word is there, you can pretty much very quickly get what that card is. So that in itself is very powerful. The picture marking's not brilliant. There's a bit of memory work required for the picture, but I think that's gilding the lily. I think if you start telling them everything that's on the card, it's just too much. I think just the emotion is the basic effect. The video, well, videos, I've never ever, I don't think, in any of the products. Now, one thing with Graig Petty, and I've got a lot of Graig Petty's material, so disclosure here. You know, I don't think Graig Petty's ever put anything out where I felt robbed. You get so much material. Now, a lot of it is Graig will sit down with a prop, and I think his skill is he can come up with a million different effects for that one prop. And that's pretty much what he's done on this video, on the videos. You know, 5 something hours, I think it is, 4.5 hours, 5 hours. He brings in Peter Turner, Peter Nordia, Ian Rowland, which doesn't really, Ian's, to most people, is probably not well known unless you're a mentalist. Some of his material is outstanding. You know, Peter Turner's stuff is very much Peter Turner. It feels like I can't be a mentalist because I'm not covered in tattoos. But, you know, some of his stuff is very strong. There's anything you can do with your favourite deck of card tricks. You know, there's oil and water routines. There's now a world routine. You know, 1,000,001 different effects you can do. If you can watch them 5 hours of material and not find at least one effect that you're going to perform, then I don't know, maybe you should take up Balloon Animals or something like that, because like I said, there's so much material. Now, all the positives and the negatives, the pros and the cons. The con is also the pro and the pro is also the con, if that makes sense. Because the cards are so marked, and I mean so marked, there's so much information on the back of these cards, I also think that's probably a little bit of a con, because none of the 2 backs look the same. They are so different. And I think if in any of your effects where there's any focus, so I've got a routine that I'm using them at the moment, and I'm a little bit nervous. So far, no one's caught it, where I have them laid out and I use a pendulum and I find it, and then they use the pendulum. And it's because there's a lot of focus on the back of the card, I'm a little bit concerned somebody's going to spot it. Now, my girlfriend, who does know a little bit about magic, because, you know, she's living with me for 3 years, immediately went and could spot and read the markings. That's how easy the markings are. You know, you could give it to someone and say, read it. You know, they don't need to know a code. They don't need, you literally just look at the back and you can read it. If your eyes are in tuned, because the way they're written is kind of hidden in plain sight. And once you see them, you cannot unsee them. So, other than that, great product. Unfortunately, they're not doing any refills, and I think they're about £33 at the present moment, £34, I think. Quite expensive, and I'm going to need refills. Now, the good thing is I'm only using a handful of cards. I'm not using the whole deck. And I think the stacking as well, again, it's easy. You know, I don't think there's anything hugely new here, other than using the emotions. I think people have used other things other than playing cards within mentalism. Director cut, for example. Another great routine that I enjoy is got movie posters. Am I using it? Yes. Do I recommend it? Yes. Is it easy to perform? Yes. I think most people, you're going to pick this up, and within about an hour of playing around with it, you're going to be performing it, if that. I don't think the videos description, I think they could have gone a little bit more in depth on reading the markings. You know, what would have really been nice is if maybe Graig had a blown up card and could have shown you, because some of the letters not necessarily make sense sometimes. There is a PDF, and I would say, you know, if they folded that PDF up, put it in the box, you could probably perform the routine even without watching the videos. What you're getting with this product is so much thinking around it. You know, like I say, these are some of the heavyweights in magic. So is it worth its money? Yes. Do I recommend it? Yes. Could it get better? Could it be better? I think they've gone and thrown everything at it. And I think sometimes in the magic community, that's kind of what the magic community is asking for. You know, you don't just want a wallet that does a peak. You want a wallet that does 36 different things. You know, and I think majority of the amateur purchasers out there want the same thing. I would have been happy with a little couple of marks on here and a little bit of memory work. However, I think majority of the amateurs that don't have the time to rehearse, to learn new cribs, etc., it's all there. Like I say, it is very easy to perform, and I do think it's going to be a very popular product. So that is Evoke by Graig Petty. So please click subscribe, like the videos, and stay tuned for all my magic reviews.